we on? You're good?
Yep.
Okay. Good evening. This is zoning board meeting on January 7th? 7th? Day? 9th. I'm behind again. We have a motion for rehearing from Attorney Bedard in regarding Mead versus the Town of Tilton and Tilton Planning Board. We also have an objection to the motion for rehearing. Again, if we can put off doing our minutes until the end so that we can hear this, if that's okay with everybody. Mm-hmm. Okay. And Eric, you're recusing yourself from this?
Yes.
Okay. And so Joe, you'll be our alternate. Thank you very much for coming.
Sorry, I got it tied.
You're excused, it's okay. Again, this is not open for discussion with the public. This will be heard with discussion with the zoning board only. So if we would like to open this up. First of all, have you read all the stuff that we got?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. I guess I was a bit confused of why it didn't go with any appeals, objections, anything back in May. That this was not brought up back then. And I believe that Atwater really holds true to this decision, that it should have been done in a more timely manner than the end of the planning board final approval or conditional approval.
In September?
Yeah. And in the RSA 677:15, I understand what they're saying about how it's, nothing really was agreed until the end, but I don't believe that. I think that it was back in, this was talked about in March, originally changing the name, but the decision in the May hearing.
So I guess my thing is there anything that they brought up in this latest motion? Does it provide any additional information that we did not discuss?
No, because we...
My understanding of the timeline of what I've seen putting information together, back in February, when the minutes of the planning board meeting brought up this project, it was discussed as an adult recovery center.
Right.
That was on the application originally. It was described as a 12-step recovery program. The future intent was to provide therapy and counseling. Enrollees would be dropped off and keys removed. So it was, from those words, it sounded to me like it was going to be non-elder adult oriented and rehab in-house there in March.
Mm-hmm.
Similar wording, adult recovery center, was used to describe this project. Enrollees would be roomed in double or triple rooms. These are words I'm getting from the minutes. That this is how this project was described. Licensed drug and alcohol counselors would be on staff. This is all information of how it was described in March is when it was voted and approved to classify it as an adult care facility. That's where I started in my thinking, adult care facility. That's, to me, what I think of when I read that, or I think of it being geared towards elderly. But in this case, that's what it was classified as, and the project has been always described as not elderly related, but drug rehab, counseling, I'll say middle-aged adults, non-elderly directed. And at that meeting, let's see, it was asked if it could be an adult care facility could be classified as a medical or non-medical.
Right.
And in my mind, all of those 3 meetings, all of those descriptions of the project, all those words used indicated that it was geared towards what it ultimately is, seems to have narrowed down to an adult care facility is how it's classified, to take care of help recovering drug, is what it seems to me to be set up as. So then, at that time in March, it was known what the project was about in March. It was also asked, could, let's see, if a planning board decision could be challenged, and it was stated that appeals of a planning board approval or denial could be lodged. So it was known at that time that it could be appealed. And the final vote or approval of the full scope of the project that changed from March to September, went through changes. I don't know all the changes, but what I'm understanding, it actually decreased in size, not change of scope, not change of direction.
Right.
So it just decreased in size. So it was always known as, been described, been advertised as a facility that was going to help recovering alcoholics and people dealing with drugs.
But as an adult care facility.
It's classified as,
Right.
yeah.
All right, so my opinion, so yes, the terminology is vague, and you could interpret it, given no other information, I would say that something classified as elder care would be for old people, and adult care would be for adults. So I think there is a vague lack of definition, clear definition, but they're adults under care. There's really no, and it was clearly stated what the purpose of the facility would be. My understanding is that the lawyer at the June 13th meeting questioned it entirely, and then at the August meeting, it was again brought up that it had not been appealed. So I think that with everything they were asked about the appeals process, they were told 30 days usually, 65 days and 30 days usually, and then they were allowed to have discussion. I think that there were plenty of opportunities to challenge the definition from my perspective. And yes, there is it is vague in the zoning requirements, but it does not prohibit that use specifically either, so.
And then, come September, when the full scope of the project was known, after that is when the appeal was brought up. It's been known, and no new information was brought that I'm aware of, other than the changes of the project that kept in line with the description of the type of facility that would be. It just changed the size.
Any comments from?
No, you're good.
And I'm on record already on this issue.
I know, I just wanted to bring up some of the things that I had a question on, of why was it not done early on, any type of thing, and that was just, something that I wanted to talk about, that's all.
I think it wasn't done in a reasonable length of time. The rest of the issues, I don't think we have jurisdiction over.
No, that I agree with you on, but, so that was just mine. I just wanted to know why it wasn't done kind of early and have that discussion with you guys.
So just as a point of order, and I don't know whether this board or maybe you can answer it, when there's a change, it's done through the, like a request for a change to the zoning ordinances would go through the planning board, correct?
Yes, yeah.
In general, like any change to it would go through the planning board, right?
Right.
Okay, I just didn't know how that process worked. How does?
Yeah, I'll just quickly say, and then let you guys get back to your deliberation. Yeah, at town meeting, zoning, the planning board is sort of responsible for bringing forward zoning amendments and holding a public hearing, and for both planning board zoning amendments and petition zoning amendments. Then they go on the ballot at town meeting, and that's how
Okay.
zoning amendments change, zoning ordinances change.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay.
So at this point, do you make a motion to dismiss? And
Well,
then I don't hear that there's any other.
Because the objection is here, I think we should do the objection and make a motion on that. But I did want to speak about,
Objection.
the objection to the motion to rehear. Or I think we can just make a motion on the rehearing.
Dismiss the appeal. I guess I was gonna make a motion that we dismiss the appeal.
Right.
Is that
I'll just
is that not the correct process?
I'll simply volunteer some standard wording
Okay.
from what I think the direction Ms. Princiata is going, just to help her.
Thank you.
Sure. That such a motion, you might say, I move to deny the request for rehearing. Again, I'm not feeding you a motion. I'm just trying to assist you with general language
That's
along the
fine.
lines of where I hear you're going.
That's fine. Based on
These are
the lack of new information, I move to deny the motion to dismiss.
motion for rehearing. Right. I think you need to repeat that.
Yeah.
Or I can.
Yeah. So I gotta write it down. All right.
I wrote it down if you want me.
All right.
Based on the lack of information, you move to deny the request for rehearing?
Yes.
Okay, that's how I have it written down.
Okay.
Okay. And a second,
I'll second that.
okay. And so, shall we take a vote?
Sure.
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And all opposed? And so, we don't actually hear the objections.
Yeah.
Discuss that.
Yes.
And then the next order
Is the minutes?
is the minutes. And I did have. Okay. So on the November. There's something in here. Okay, nope, that was done, the October 17th minutes. I just wanted to make sure that those were taken care of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I don't remember now.
okay, but they were, so thank you.
Okay.
And you've all had a chance to read the minutes.
Yes.
So would someone like to make a motion to accept?
I make a motion to accept the minutes of the
November.
November 21st.
Okay, and a second?
All right, second.
And all in favor?
Yes.
Yes. And all opposed? Excellent. And I call this meeting closed.
Or
Adjourn.
Adjourned.
yeah, right.
I close it. Now we can adjourn. No, you cannot touch the hammer. It's called a gavel.
Adjourn.
Move to adjourn, I second it.
Second, okay, thank you, sorry.
I just say yes.
Trying to,
Can't use the hammer.
all in
I gotta work
favor,
on-
I take it?
Yeah,
All right.
Oh, yes, aye, sorry.
All
I
right.
need to,
I know, sometimes I go, yes, we're done, that's it. Do we have to go all through that formalities? Yes,
Yes.
Larry says.
Yes, right.